Alright, we're here with Gonti, Lord of Luxury, a mono black commander. The goal trying to sort of play your own, play your opponent's cards, which is pretty cool. You have ways to sort of continuously do it with Panharmonicon, doubling the ability, kind of like Yarok, right? Yarok can run Gonti, and that's a similar thing. Other things that work with this is like Solemn Simulacrum and stuff, so we're doing that card. Yeah, we have Dark Ritual, Early Disruption, removal spells, more expensive things on the side here, sweepers, not complicated mana base, a ton of mana rocks, and an artifact package, because it feels fun. I like these artifacts. I don't see them really played that much. Treasure chest and deck of many things. I lost to this recently, so I kind of want to try to do it and pull it off and feel good that it worked one time. With so many artifacts, I'm running Mystic Forge. Even if there isn't a bunch of colorless cards in your deck, you can still do the bottom part to essentially do the same thing Cosmos Elixir does, which is scry, right? Just get rid of a card. You usually don't feel too bad about it. We're running a bunch of things that make it so when Gonti dies, you get it right back, like Ghostform, Feign Death, not Deaf. Gonti looks deaf with that helmet, but Malice and stuff. We have ways to sacrifice Gonti as well, just to get him back into the command zone. Or if I have one of these other cards to recur him, I can do that in the same turn sequence. Although I'm not super big on sacrificing him and then like having one of these combat tricks to sort of put him back. I would rather run this in a deck that can sacrifice another card that isn't just your commander. Because eventually he does start costing too much to continuously cast over and over, so I don't know how much value you're really looking to play out of him. The one game I did play with this deck, I stole somebody's Craterhoof Behemoth, and I killed them with it. I stole that in the Zendarkar's Royals, so every time I played a land, I got a 2-2, and then I made them all like 10-10s and killed my opponent out of nowhere, which is really funny. Certainly weren't expecting that, I'm sure. I am curious how many games just wind up being the Liliana wins and not really Gonti, but we'll see. Anything else fancy in here? Not really. Yahenni's expertise is, there's better sweepers, I think, or just not running this at all. Killing your own commander with a sweeper is something you're not too upset about, right? But I think there's better ways to do things. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I'm just going to run that card. I hadn't cast it the one game I played, but that in that one game it would have been good, so we'll see. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. And let's play Magic. Oh yeah, and I stream on Twitch 6 p.m. Eastern. I have to plug that in now. I have to jam that in my my intros. This hand is weird. This hand is very, very weird. Apex. Oh god. I don't know. Do I like this hand? Okay, it doesn't really do any. No, we don't like this hand. Oh, this hand is extremely similar. Holy crap. Oh, we'll keep it though. It's got a mana rock. That's fine. Alright. Opponent's on the play with whatchamacallit? Soul Ring. Also, when it comes to explaining decks, I think I'm a little bit better after I've played it a couple games than I am just initially. Not that I don't feel like there isn't, there's not a ton to explain about how Gonti operates. Okay, well, this is looking grim, but we do have a sweeper. It's not, is it, I mean, is it a good one? Yeah, it's alright against what's going on. No Thief of Sanity? Yeah, I know. It is almost a war crime. So what does this do? Return any number of creatures, total power 10 or less. So it doesn't really do anything currently. They have 2 odds and 2 evens, which is very unfortunate. I think I am just going to cast Gonti, though. Seems fine. It gums up the board, right? Chupacabra? I would like to take this out of my opponent's deck. But Chupacabra is just good currently, right? This is just good. Yeah, we'll find more use for that card. What is this? And why is it a common? It has a lot of text for a common. Interesting. I've never seen that card before. That is a lot of text for a common. I guess it is the Modern Masters or Horizons, which is a very good, very, very good set of cards there. Okay, so it's an MH2 card. Oh, I thought that was MH1. Either way, both of those sets were just really good. I think we're just going to kill the flyer and just incentivize our opponent to cast their commander. We can also swing. We're not upset if Gonti dies. But no, it's preventing them from really swinging all out. Right? Because they're fine with trading probably one of these, and I'd rather just not have that happen. Heart creature, graveyard. Wish we had some graveyard hate. We have some exile, but no graveyard hate. And we're doing pretty good for not drawing lands. Honestly, I mean, aside from these two cards, we don't really need more than 4 currently. We're probably happy to see that. My opponent's hand is empty currently. Okay. Oh, it might be. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I can tutor for a land or just a board wipe that actually clears the entire board. That's probably right. Crux of whatever. I doubt they're going to play a dragon. Meathook Massacre for currently 3 kills everything except their commander, especially if they put it on that thing that's a 6/6. I don't want a spot removal spell. Alright, we'll just take Crux of Fate here. And no attacks. This is very strange. So, I don't see a reason for them to ever mutate until it does something significant. They have a decent... Ah, shoot, I don't know. I need a land, I think, to cheat one of these. Alright, so we got the land. What I can do now... This doesn't fly, right? They can put it here and swing at Liliana for 6. Eek. 7. Yeah, no, they can actually kill it. The zombie block, yeah, they can kill it. So we're going to Crux of Fate after we attack. I doubt they're going to block. Although they might now because they know I'm swinging, which makes it obvious there's a board wipe, so it kind of makes sense to block. That's a strange block. What? Oh, well, now I don't have to cast a sweeper. Now we don't have to cast a sweeper. Okay. Sure. Interesting. Wait a minute. How does this card read? Let me just double check. When it dies, return to the battlefield. So no. Put it to the... Yeah, there we go. Skyclave exiles this. I guess we'll take that. We can currently cast it. Yeah, we'll just take that. It's an exile effect, and dealing with a flyer is nice. So we're going to do that. And we're going to pass. Alright. The one game I played, I had not played a combat trick on Gonti. I just recast it like 3 times from the command zone. So they can... Sure. Okay. We can deny a... Play lands, okay. We can deny a mutate trigger, although they're not really mutating anything crazy. Still is kind of annoying to deal with. So is there any reason to... I would like to deal with this Corpse Knight. It does cause some problems. But not a ton, right? I might just lose 3 life or something. I think it's just better to cast Liliana while I can and gum up the board. And then we just pass, right? This seems fine. They can do their commander to get back these. The only one of these that's kind of annoying is this one. This does mean they get to have another opportunity to cast it, right? To unearth or whatever, because it comes out for free. I guess we want Cling to Dust. Sawtusk? Oh, what? Oh, no. No. Alright, so we lose Liliana. Okay, so do we sweep the board? We name creatures, right? And then we can reanimate. They're swinging with this? You can't... Okay, wait. Wait a minute. They just give us Gonti back. Opponent's playing very strange. They can only kill one of these, so it's free to just soak the trample. Yep. I don't care if Gonti dies. My opponent probably should not kill Gonti. All things considered, probably just kill the 3/3. Giving me access to Gonti again seems like a mistake. Okay. That is another land. Now we can sweep the board and get a 4-mana card out of the graveyard, which I guess would be Chupacabra kills the Skyclave token. I am going to play this as a land. I think we're going to do this here. Yeah, we can do this and then kill... We can steal the Priest of Fell Rites, I believe. Makes the most sense to me. Oh, what? Why is this not letting me do what I want? Oh, my graveyard. Excuse me. Wow. I don't think I've ever not had something come back with this before, so that's my bad. I'm just so used to it recurring something. I could have swore you could do something from your opponent's graveyard. Really? Huh. Okay, well, I'm just not good at the game. That's fine. Fortunately, it's not a total blowout, right? We still have things to do. Yep, we cast this. They don't have a mutate target, so they don't have a way to do much here. That exiles the graveyard. It might be a little too slow, but if they cast this priest and then they reanimate, I don't know, a random 6/6, I doubt that's very scary. It's decent, but I mean, we can just kill it. We don't really want them to mutate on this mutate, because then they get this ability and that ability, and we're in trouble, so we pretty much have to kill this Sawtusk again for the 3rd time. And I certainly will. Exiling it is fine. It's an even, so we will exile even. And I kind of want to just play this now. I think I'm going to, because the less time they have to just instantly mutate, the better. Do we want to land? I don't think so. We're looking for maybe a spot removal spell for a potential threat. Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Okay. Do we get rid of our Mazemind Tome? Or do we get rid of the Signet? No, I think we keep the Tome. Put a stop here. That exiles things, but it's too slow. Alright, well, looks like they're going to be able to mutate. Oh, that is so annoying. Is there anything we can do? I guess we can look with Gonti. I don't see it happening, though, but it's not impossible. We were one turn too slow. That's so disgusting. There's nothing we can do now. I think we just lose. That is insane. We can find another board wipe. It's not the end of the world, but it's not looking good. Opponent gets to recur everything right before I exile their graveyard. I can't imagine there's more than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just forgo. Oh no, I guess 10 would be the vessel. Skyclave denies the exile effect. That's just disgusting. I don't know what to do now. I mean, they don't even have to exile the whatchamacallit? Nightmare. Do we keep this in the graveyard? No. No. We also... Are we just dead? Oh, wow, we're just dead. Okay. We just take 5 and die. Yeah, so literally that's all that mattered was that one turn cycle. One turn sooner could have exiled their graveyard. Or any of my million spot removal spells. And they also had to draw a creature, so... They just... Yeah, they drew perfectly, really, for the turn. I guess they could have drawn a stronger creature, all things considered. But any creature would do if I can't kill it. Definitely would have scooped if I were to exile the graveyard there. Definitely. Alright, we have a discard spell, a way to get back Gonti out of nowhere. Well, this isn't terrible. Against Goreclaw is kind of interesting. When's the last time I've seen a Goreclaw deck? Oh my. Oh my. This draws cards, and this tutors for decent things. I prefer to take the thing that's harder to, like, interact with once it resolves. And the Shaman isn't really doing anything right now, right? There's no creatures in their hand. I'm sure that is going to change quite quickly, but that means less creatures I have to deal with, I guess. We have nothing to do this turn. Found something to do. I think we're going to I saw Paradise Druid. We're going to Simulacrum right now, I think. Yeah, because Gonti on 5 seems better. I don't really care if they naturalize my Solemn Simulacrum. Alright, so now we have mana to keep Gonti alive through this Prey Upon. Right. Can recur him. Okay, Goreclaw's not very scary right now. Really in any capacity. They really don't want to swing. Yeah, we'll just cast Gonti. Is this a sorcery? No, it's not. Alright, well, they can actually do this whenever they want. Looks like they have a creature in hand then, right? Because they're leaving up this activation. Which means they technically have any creature they ever want. Both of these are decent. We're hard-pressed to connect with this. I prefer I just take the giant thing, right? Yeah. It could technically wind up being one of the biggest things I wind up ever having in play, so... Seems fine. It could block quite efficiently. Might be hard to prey upon. And our opponent will never be able to cast it now, right? But Toski is a certainly an argument. Nylea. Alright, well. We beat Nylea the 2 times it came in play the other day. So what does my opponent do here? I have to prey upon Gonti, right? I feel like that's what you do. And I think I'll just Malice it. I would like to be able to sacrifice the Solemn Simulacrum in response to a Naturalize, but unfortunately we can't. Wait, what is this? Mouse over Gonti again? Oh, alright, never mind. That looks strange to me. So, no to the command zone, yes to the battlefield. Gigantosaurus is pretty good in this spot, but so is Gargaroth, and that just kind of incurs value. I think this is a little bit better. An additional 4 in stats. I mean, it feels great to cast a Gigantosaurus. I don't think I've ever seen one in play. But I think I'm going to go with the card that gets me value when it actually like blocks and stuff. It's a sad day for Gigantosaurus, dude. I almost wish it was my only option. We could block. It is indestructible. But we have... Now, we have things to do next turn, right? It also guarantees that I actually get a sacrifice off of this. Whereas I otherwise don't currently, right? But this seems fine. We could even swing with Gonti here. But the fact that they can get any creature makes me not want to do that. I almost want to Thought Seize them. But there's only one card. Nah, let's just pass. They're going to activate Nylea, probably, not just Fauna Shaman. See a land, probably mill it over. Okay. They have 6 mana. If a creature you control will deal combat damage to this... If a creature would deal combat damage, not your own. Okay, so it's like Vigor. It's basically Vigor. We still have pretty good blocks, though, with the Gargaroth, right? Yeah, we have like a pretty decent block here. Goreclaw has to attack to get the trigger. So they don't have an attack. That's great. And we're going to negate this Naturalize by just sacrificing it to one of these. I guess this one gives me a treasure token. Okay, Ujin's nice. I almost want to swing, and that would mean I have to kill something, and I guess I'll kill this Hydra, because otherwise it's sort of annoying to deal with. So yeah, we'll just blow up the Hydra. I don't really care about Fauna Shaman. Not right now, at least. It could wind up being scary quite fast, but we want to not die to this. This also turns off Nylea. Right, yeah. Opponent is mousing over their one card. I don't think they're going to naturalize my my treasure token. Alright, so Nylea's bailed them out of drawing lands twice so far. Okay, so now we can swing. I don't care for... Like, if they trade, that's fine. Do we make a 3-3? I think we do, just to have a blocker. We could draw. How greedy do we... Do we really need another card? No, I think the board is a better thing to hedge against currently. Opponent has no cards in hand, so... There's also a chance they just don't block. I don't know how important Goreclaw is. If they do block, that means they are very far from ever getting Nylea back online, making the 3-3 less useful. This block doesn't really make a lot... Okay, there we go. Yep, doesn't really matter. Do I feign death this? Target creature gains... Oh, no, I don't. It's owner. I don't want to give my opponent a Elder Goo for no reason. Yeah, we can pass. They do not upkeep activate Nylea. Recasting Goreclaw is A-okay with me. Ugin will certainly just start drawing cards like crazy in this spot. Okay, yep, that's totally fine. I don't think we're going to sacrifice the 3-3 quite yet to draw cards. Meathook is nice. Oh no, Arena's under there. No! So we can tutor for one of the Lilianas, right? I think I always tutor in this spot. Alternatively, I could just play this. It means Gonti taps for mana. And we also have an 8-8, right? Or a 10-10. I'm not upset with tapping Gonti. Yeah, let's just tap Gonti. We have a 10-10 now. We could get a sweeper to protect ourselves. We kind of already have one in hand. Spot removal. We have a lot of good options. Card advantage through something that draws more than one card a turn. I think in this spot it makes sense to get one of these though, because we're kind of at that point. So I think we'll just get this one. And currently still no reason to Thoughtseize them. If they ever try to Fauna Shaman on my end step, maybe I can like snipe a creature that they were keeping to like untap into do something dirty, so I could like Thoughtseize. They can't Fauna Shaman unless they just want to do it for the sake of doing it. Maybe get a dead card out of their deck or something like that. So whatever they get has to cost 6 or less. Vorniclix is good, but it's not insane. Goreclaw is... not Goreclaw. Galta's pretty good, but I think Vorniclix would have been better. Yeah, I think Vorniclix would have been better there. Having a 12/12 that doesn't really do much is not great. I mean, it has trample, but it doesn't have haste. They don't have any attacks either. Okay, we can do nothing but plus here, so we will do that. Meathook does not kill Galta. Not by a long stretch. So we can do this for 3, and then Liliana minus. They sacrifice the last 2, or just this one, because this will be no longer a creature. We could just Liliana minus 2, and they leave them with Galta. 1, 2... Let's see, how much mana do we have? 8, 9, 10? Nah, we don't really have a good... Well, actually we do, right? Because their devotion hedges on this for this to be a creature, so the Liliana minus 2 actually works if we minus 2 this. So I guess we'll get the 2 in now. I don't think they're going to block because they don't want me to get the creature. I mean, for all they know, I'm just swinging to potentially get this card out. Doesn't make sense to give me it, just take 2 damage. This doesn't make a lot of sense. If this card under here is good, then you... Like, what if this is the Meathook Massacre, right? Like, they would... I don't know, that doesn't seem like a good idea. I should say thanks in /say or whatever. I should just emote thanks. But, no, I'm not going to do that. Alright, so minus 2, and then we can cast Liliana. Just make sure I don't screw this up royally. Yeah. We could minus 3. These do tap for mana. I did not count this as mana. But I don't really care about Goreclaw sitting there, right? I don't really care however they pan this out. Again, this is a bit of a mistake because I have discard spells. Doing this right now doesn't make a lot of sense. Kind of strange. Kind of strange. Okay, so then we play this in minus 2. We might Thoughtseize this Ooze. I think we're going to. Either way, we leave with this, right? I'm not going to feign death Gonti right now. I'm just going to do this. Take action. I think we're going to Thoughtseize this... Oh, this costs 0 because of Ugin. Do we cast this? I think we're going to Thoughtseize. We're just going to Thoughtseize. Crack this treasure. We did give them a naturalized target, but it's a little too late for this to... Naturalizing a Meathook Massacre is kind of weird. I don't really see why that's why you ever cast the card, the other text on it, but... nice. That was pretty cool. We sort of had a very back and forth game there. It wasn't just totally bank on a sweeper. If we have it, we have it. We don't lose or something. Which you like to see. The Gonti value was pretty good too. We got a 10-10. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. We got value from a Gargaroth, sort of. Though in hindsight, I guess I'd prefer to have just drawn a card, not made a 3/3. Sort of. At that point, I don't know how much it matters. Oh, no, do we? Okay, good. Hope we didn't get stuck on somebody. Okay, so Nicol Bolas, but it's the 7 mana one, which apparently is more popular than the 5 mana one. I am not too upset. They are good against artifacts though, because they got red cards. So we have a Hero's Downfall, which is nice. I don't see Innocent Blood doing anything. We're on the play. Fine. Yeah, let's not do that turn 1. Alright, play Llanowar Elves. Just real quick. Just somehow play it. They did not. Alright, so we can take our... They don't have a... Oh boy. This is all pretty good against us, actually. This is all pretty good. I think I'm going to take the Tome because they're light on mana, and that might wind up mattering. I don't see taking any one of these cards pulling us ahead in any way. And they drew a land. So never mind. Play a land and we pass. They can wash away Gonti, but that's fine. They can now just counter anything we do. Fatal Push is terrible. Fatal Push is really bad. Do we cast Gonti? If we... I think we're going to do this, because they're probably going to counter anything I do. I prefer them to just do this. Right? They can technically counter the card I tutor for, so we can get a discard spell to kind of circumvent that. We could also get a land, but I think I'm going to get a discard spell like Duress. It looks kind of weird, but I'm not upset about it. Am I upset? Do we get something else? Nothing can be... Nothing's uncounterable. I think we get Duress. They might even just tap out next turn for Chandra. Okay, well, that's fine. Yep. Kind of happy to see that get fired off. No artifact and just dealing 2 damage to me. This technically just didn't really do anything at all. They tapped off of Wash Away being a hard counter, which is nice. But I need a land to really capitalize on that, and I don't have one. They also seem to have missed a land drop off of their expressive iteration. We did not hit a land. Very annoying. I think at this point it makes sense to just stop Chandra from doing nonsense. So we're going to just do that. Chandra could be very good against us. We have an answer to it, but I'd rather this sort of attack Nicol Bolas at some point. Okay, they take Panharmonicon, certainly. The rest of my hand is pretty bad. And they're back to having Wash Away up. Just take the brand. I mean, come on. Wow, they did not take it. Wow, and they're not even interested in countering the Panharmonicon. Okay, fine. 2 things I would have never have done. They only have 1 black source. Kind of funny. I guess we just start casting Gonti, right? Just start casting him. He dies to their hand 3 times, but I mean, what else am I doing, right? Take action, play a land, pass turn. Okay, that's not a land. That is one of the worst draws in the deck. There's only like 4 cards that cost more than 5 in my deck. So that's not good. Opponent's not drawing lands. Okay. Yeah. Cool. We lose. They shuffle everything in and draw 7 cards. And we lose a game. I'm going to take out Fatal Push. I have it in there for like Keenan's and Scythus and stuff, but I never feel confident about the card. It never, ever feels good. I just don't like it. I do not like Fatal Push in any way. What else do we not like? I'm just off that card. Guess we'll go up a land. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Fatal Push is just, ugh. Hopefully we don't find too many instances where Gonti just can't stick on the board, because having all these combat tricks to like reanimate him instantly don't really do anything if he can't resolve. Okay, so it's mono white with, I guess they go all in and then they make it indestructible with this adorable angel. This hand does not have a sweeper. It could technically have... No, I think we are really interested in finding a sweeper. Alright, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, we have a Soul Shatter, which makes a sweeper better later because they Soul Shatter and probably have to lose the Sephara. We also got Dark Ritual again. I might just do it really fast to get Gonti into play. It could be an effective blocker, could steal something that matters only when the game is still in its infancy, which is honestly quite likely against a mono white deck. So we'll see. A 1-drop, that is a flying creature. Okay, so we're in a Dark Ritual Gonti. Hopefully we get something spicy. We can't foretell this. Just a 4-mana 4/4. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. That's not terrible. It's not terrible. Do they not have a land? Are you serious? There's no way you keep a 1-lander? There's no way. Okay. They have Stone Cold Nothing. That is kind of crazy to me. That is crazy. Alright, we'll run out the Celestus. Maybe it'll start looting something, although my whole hand is decent. I think I'm going to swing. I don't really care if they kill Gonti that much with any one card. I could have even fired this off, but nah. Opponent just did literally nothing on turn 2, which is never where you want to be in a mono white deck. Alright, that stops Gonti. They still have an instant that's 1 mana. Very curious what it is. We're going to forego the angel and just... we can swing first, right? We could just play the... We could just play this. I think we're just going to play this. That seems fine. Let's make a 4/4. I don't want to Innocent Blood a 1/1 here. We have the board gummed up. This is a 7/7 though. 4, 5, 6 are 1 mana away or Convoke away. We have a Soul Shatter though. I mean, we have plenty of ways to actually just kill it, so this is 4 or more. Fortunately, our hand avoids that nonsense. It does mean our Snowlands come in tapped, which is a reason to not run Snowlands, but we are running Blood in the Snow, so I guess that is a reason to run it. We pass. We can swing too, actually. Swinging feels pretty nice here. They don't have a good block at all. Yeah. It doesn't really make sense to block when you're trying to cheat out a giant flying angel. They don't know it's going to die, but... Create 2 birds. Okay. Then they can flash it back. Sure. That's cute. It's cool seeing cards I've never seen before. That's for true. Tap 3 cards. They can't make the birds and do everything they want. Actually, I think it makes sense for them to... What are they keeping up that's 1 mana that's decent against this? What is this? Good thing we drew a discard spell right now. Maybe this forces it out? I think it's been holding it up since turn 2. God's Willing? Okay. That means the other card is a land, maybe? What? Oh, that's weird. It said the color like 8 times. Okay, I guess we're happy that happened. So this comes in tapped, and we can just... Our whole hand is good except Innocent Blood, so I'm not upset with just doing this, right? Actually, no, we want to leave up... We want to leave up our stuff here. I doubt they'll... Oh, wait, they have protection from black, so I can't really swing. Oh, protection from black. This is white. Alright, I missed 4 damage. I'm sorry. I missed 4 damage. Nobody saw, though. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay, so they can make the birds, then they can play the angel there. Little do they know, all of this is ineffective against us. Do we even Soul Shatter, or do we just grasp this? I feel like we're just grasping it makes sense. No, we'll Soul Shatter. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. This one just costs more mana. I don't see them playing any scary Planeswalker that I couldn't just deal with. Okay, so we're going to swing. That was also a very good draw. It means I don't have to cast Crux of Fate, which is probably better, right? And we don't actually lose our Angel, which is quite massive. Yeah, this is huge. No reason to cast either of these, so we're not going to do that. Actually, that card was so good, it plays around... It plays around their Indestructible, so maybe I wanted to keep this for a future turn, but as Mono White does, it doesn't really do anything once you beat its opening hand, because it's Mono White, and it doesn't capitalize on the game going long in any way. They're also, yeah, like, look at the cards they're drawing. Like, their deck is just not... I guess I'll take this. It doesn't matter, yeah. There's just nothing they can do. You're Mono White. Your hand is gone, and you lose. You just can't do anything. Alright, cool. We're 2-1. Or technically 3-1, because I played a game today off stream. And it was a hilarious game. El Betrayer. Okay, 2 lands, Sign in Blood, Panharmonicon. Card really likes us. What on earth are they playing? They're playing Sorin? Oh boy. I guess we mulligan. Okay. These are magic cards. That's for certain. Every time I play against Sorin, they have one of the 2 5-mana vampires, so let's hope that's not the case this time. We do have an answer to it, though, but I think it just entering the battlefield is the major crux of it anyways. I think getting Gonti out now is fine, but also not getting Gonti out is fine. But no, we're going to run out Gonti. We don't really need that much more mana. We have a land drop. We're not, like, desperately finding things or looking for things. This is not good for us that much, but this is technically more cards. You only really need to kill Sorin once? Really? Also, the minus isn't great at all when I have a creature in play. I didn't even assess this. Just putting it... Oh, they had it. Of course. They had it. They had one of the 5-mana... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Silly me. Fortunately, it doesn't really get any value, but... Go figure. That's really funny. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so we kill this, and then we kill Sorin. Which is another reason to play Gonti last turn, because he can actually swing. Alright, so Sorin doesn't do much after the first time he resolves, and just dealing with vampires at this point. We have a board wipe, but they have discard spells, probably. Haven't seen one yet, though. Okay, the Ozolith. That is interesting. Vampires do like +1/+1 counters, I guess. Oh, the fruit might actually be pretty good here. Okay. This is an instance that's kind of weird to kill Gonti when you know I can simply recast it. I don't really agree with this. Especially how I could potentially have had nothing to do this turn. We'll take that. I wonder if they just recast Sorin again. And they minus again, because we have a removal spell into whatever. But at this point, you don't really need Sorin, because all the vampires are like 5 and down. With like maybe a couple 6-mana ones. I haven't played against Sorin in a while, and right there. The 3 into 5 every time. That's funny. Okay, so if they just put another vampire into play, we have the same turn sequence as last time. It is not a 5-mana one. Do we want a Dark Ritual right now? We could use the mana to double up on our spells. I think we do. Oh, wait a minute. No, it just makes sense to get rid of it with the Key to the Archive, actually, because it's not doing much at this point. Yeah, that's kind of reasonable. Also, I probably should have drawn first with the fruit. Yeah, probably should have done that. Yeah. Nah, I don't even get a food now because I didn't have the mana to do it. Okay. Opponent, no. No. This is what's causing you problems. Please, just let the 2/3 sit there. Please. Like, I just get to do this again. Alright, we're not going to. We're going to key, I think, and get rid of Dark Ritual. Ooh. Ooh, boy. Ooh. I think we're not going to cast this until we really need something spicy. Opponent's hand is not very strong. I'm going to take Veto because there is a combo with it, and I'd rather just never have to worry about it. We don't want to crack the Mind Stone. And yeah, I'm just not going to tutor until I feel like there's something I'm really looking for. Oh, hey. Bastiusk? Bastius. You're Bastius now. It's going alright. We're just playing mono black against mono black. It's looking like a 4-1 game here. It might be tough for opponent to come out of this one. Deals combat damage, blood token, sacrifice it, return a graveyard to the battlefield. 2 blood tokens, okay. Sure, we just pass. Or they just pass. Do we sweep this board? I don't know, these are kind of graveyard recurring threats. Kind of annoying, but also I don't think we care that much. Yeah, let's just sweep the board, keep it clean. Now, oh wait, no, I have a card to play. Yeah, this is fine. I didn't actually read this card. What does it do? Attacks. Defending player chooses a non-legendary in your graveyard, and you get it to the battlefield. Okay, so we don't really get any value out of that. It's just a 4/4. It's just a Serra Angel that's slightly worse than a Serra Angel. Opponent kills it. That is fine. I will not try to defend it, even if I could. Yep, back to Gonti. Opponent has allowed us to do this multiple times here. Your vampire? Ah! Oh, wow. Sure. They have not drawn a land in a while. Hey, Eye of Vecna. That might belong in my deck. I honestly forgot about it, but given all the colorless stuff we're doing, it's, you know, it's reasonable. At this point, I'm going to crack the Mind Stone. We have plenty of lands here. Plenty of mana. More mana. Okay. More mana. Sort of free to just run it out, I'd say. Sacrifice a creature, put a counter on each vampire. Alright, well, that's not going to do anything. They might have just wanted to Castle Locthwain, honestly, and they just didn't. Ooh, you know what? That turn cycle, I probably should have tutored for Liliana to start closing the game out. Probably a mistake there, honestly. Yeah. We probably want Liliana in play. Certainly. Bit of a misplay there. But not the end of the world. I just kind of got excited seeing a Zangier vampire. I haven't played a Zangier vampire since Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012. Yep, it doesn't even matter. Interestingly enough, if our opponent did not kill Gonti, they were not in as bad of a spot, because I couldn't have stolen things that were incurring slight value. Just having a 2/3 in play. I know people get fixated on killing your commander, I guess, but it's just a 2/3 death touch. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. You should probably force me to kill my own commander, for all you know. I might want it to die. Well, actually, you should have learned that quite quickly. but they did not. Okay, so this is Veto. I've never played against Veto. Yeah, it is very nostalgic. Zangier Vampire is very nostalgic. It used to be a rare, too. I think it is a rare in Duels 2012. I think it might not be. This hand is decent. Veto, I've never played against as a commander, but there are certain combos. Whenever I lose life, you gain life, and then you just loop it back and forth. So hopefully that does not happen. It is another mono black commander. Interesting. Gifted Aetherborn. Okay, lifelink does trigger this, but until they have a way to like completely destroy my soul, I don't really care. We have a sweeper for anything under 5 toughness, barring a discard spell. Alright, just play Veto. Just windmill slant. Nice. Alright, so they hit us for 4, then they take 2 more? Yeah. That's adorable. Okay, so we could technically die out of nowhere next turn. And I'd rather not, so I'm going to do this. They could go Dark Ritual into Exquisite Blood, and then I just die. Because I lose life, gain life, lose life. Over and over, and I die. Trespasser's Curse. This is fortunately extremely bad against us. We have Treasure Chest. I'd rather this not get discarded, so I am going to run it out here. I expect a lot of removal, to be totally honest, so buying time with just putting mana in play seems fine before I go for a Gonti turn. And now we have this, which is I lose 3, make a bunch of treasures, or draw a bunch of cards, and then I can tutor for things. They cast Veto, which I, again, probably have to immediately answer. I think it's a good idea to answer that. Yeah. I'm going to keep Feed the Swarm in hand. And we're 1 mana off from being able to do anything else, and I really don't care about this. So we'll just pass. If this is all they're doing, we're obviously not scared. Okay. Sure. They make a 2 or 1 goblins. Okay. Interesting. I guess we lead with Gonti. I could just actually just Feed the Swarm this. Let's just Feed the Swarm first. I really don't care if you sacrifice these 2 goblins. That probably isn't even right. They might end up draining me for more than 1 life if they keep hitting me. So, alright, so we play out Gonti. Don't really care if he dies. Like, ever. Alright, let's see if we can snag a combo piece. Not really. Village Rites is really good, though. I'd take that. It just means Gonti is going to incur value here. Cavalier, sure. Alright. Sacrifice you. Command zone. Still have a token, which makes sac effects bad. Fine. Take 1. Diana's Soul Steeper is the better choice for the Exquisite Blood combo. Probably. Probably. It looks like they're not fully in on it, though, right? They're still just life-linking us to deal damage. Can we do this and something else? 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana, so we can do this first. I swear to God, if I roll a 1, I'm going to stop stream right now. Oh, I rolled a 19, so we draw 3 and gain 3. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Play a land. Well, 1 off from really nice. Do we do this? I don't know. I think we're going to leave up a removal spell. Nah, we're just going to run this out. We're just going to run this out. That's fine. Fine. Get a land. I'll probably combat trick this card, not just heavily relying on Gonti, because this is sort of similar to Gonti, except this is a land and a card draw instead of like a random card from the opponent's deck. And it gets me to use my mana. Yeah, we haven't seen a removal spell yet, I don't think, right? Oh, other than, I guess, Cavalier, technically. Okay, so they hit us for 4, then they drain 4. But I'm going to block and do this. 1 off from actually killing this, too. That's actually crazy. That would be really nice, but fortunately we didn't have it, so... Yep. 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 Land. Draw. Alright, Sweeper's nice. I wonder if they block. Let's find out. No. Alright, we got our damage in for free there. Non-dragon. We draw a card. I guess I could put Veto in play. That's really funny. Just put Veto right back in play. Okay, I can't... Yeah, I don't think it's that... Yeah. Take action. We're gonna play Arena? Ooh, you know, we're getting kind of low. Maybe we don't need to. We'll just play this and pass. Nah, we have... I mean... Lose 5, draw 5 is probably just good. So we're just gonna play it. Let us kill their commander before they do anything else. They can sacrifice it for mana, so maybe I wanted to do it in response. Nope, they just didn't do it with the tower. They can technically sacrifice this vessel too. They have a lot of mana. I don't think we've ever got Cabal Stronghold yet. Not that it would do much in this spot. Okay, you have 8 mana, sure. Wait a minute, where's Veto? Oh, they didn't... Okay, so this is some sort of reanimate effect. Yeah, I was about to say, because they didn't put this to the command zone. Alright, well, we're in serious... massive trouble. We can kill some things. We kill 1. We kill 1. We kill 2. We kill 3. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost dead, but not quite dead. Is anything in my hand not an instant? No. Is there any incentive to play this first? No, I think we just pass. This might be a problem. But a bunch of removal spells is what I have, and it's going to have to be good enough. Because I don't have a board wipe. I'll wait till combat to make it so they don't have anything... Well, they can't like get value off the tower. They do not swing all out. I feel like it's very, very free to swing with Veto. They're very strange to me. But we'll take it. So we're going to kill this, because we have to. It doesn't get anything to... It doesn't reanimate target. And then we exile the Aetherborn. And then we fire up the... Yeah, they sacrifice it. We fire up the old... Creatures gain lifelink, sure. Oh no, it tapped my Guardian Idol. Oh, why does it... Really? It tapped my Guardian Idol. So we kill this. I don't know if it was even good enough, though. It probably wasn't. I think we're still dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're dead. They sacrifice the goblins, and we die. So, blocking with the Guardian Idol wouldn't have done anything. And we're dead. Cool. Right? We can do 10, take 3. I guess we force our opponent to see it. Doesn't seem like it's something that's hard to miss, but I don't know. Yep, it's just veto value. We just got drained out. That sucks. If we had a sweeper there, we obviously in a very good spot, but nope. If we didn't play Phyrexian Arena, we were at 1, which means we can't really cast Gonti through that very strange enchantment. Cool deck from the opponent. I like to see stuff like that. And I've never seen the backside of that land ever do anything. The monocolored pay 3 life untapped land. That was cool. Yeah, I have Grim Tutor in here. For cuts, compare the two for cuts. Oh yeah, no, I think they're totally. I think every time you're running black, you want Phyrexian Arena and Grim Tutor. I think they're both very, very good. I mean, there's times where you even Grim Tutor Arena if you think it's gonna be a long game. The tutors in Arena are also hard to compare. They're wildly different in what they do in your deck, right? This just gets you the best card in a scenario, and Phyrexian Arena just amasses so much card advantage. It doesn't really matter what you get, right? Or what it draws you over the course of the game. Kind of like Cosmos Elixir. Now, comparing Cosmos Elixir to Phyrexian Arena is a thing you can do here. We'll lead with Treasure Map. I don't think I'm going to cast this on a small creature. Well, I guess I have to. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh no, my Elspeth's Nightmare. Actually, Grim Tutor. Yeah, no, you take Grim Tutor. Because it's just the best card in my deck that costs 3 more. It does mean they're aware that whatever they cast just dies. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Do we wait a turn? I think we're going to wait a turn on Gonti, so I have a way to sacrifice it immediately. You have something to do? I did not expect that. Okay. They discarded Illarg. Okay, what do you actually do? Attacks, return a creature graveyard tapped and attacking. Okay. That is extremely annoying. Double discard. Alright, not the end of the world though. Terramorphic Expanse? Okay, sure. Yep. Bojuka Bog. Yes, sir. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think we want this. I don't think we want this, actually. There's only 1 card in the graveyard, and as long as this can't attack, I don't really care. Does it, it does have haste. That does mean I cannot cast Gonti right now. Ooh, maybe we did care. Ah, yeah, we probably... Yeah, we cared. We should have taken that. That was just wrong. Probably. I mean, there's still a chance I just don't cast Gonti that turn cycle. Well, they can't cast their commander yet. Yeah, wishing they had Blightning. Yeah. One day. Blightning's a cool card. I can see it coming into this game. Very satisfying. The 3 damage is alright, but typically that's, you know, it's not like the craziest thing. Actually, no, we can just draw. Alright, that's decent enough. We're not going to get Village Rights value, though, which is really unfortunate, but that's fine. That's fine. Tormenting Voice. That's annoying. Is this good? I mean, it's good, but I guess it's not that good for us. I think we'll take the Tormenting Voice to make sure we never, like, fall super behind in terms of value. There's also an argument our opponent just doesn't kill this, right? That's totally reasonable. Oh, did I miscount my mana? Did I not play a land? Hold on. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I messed this up somehow. Did I just mess this whole turn up? I think I did. I swear to God, if you have an Illarg target, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. I also forgot to sacrifice my Gonti to the village rites. Very stupid of me. I know. My bad. That was the whole reason I was doing the things I was doing as well. Oh my god, I could have had the mana. Oh. Okay. Alright. I guess I'm just doing this. It's not the end of the world. I sequenced everything almost as poorly as possible, but we're still in a decent spot. We can just Eldest Reborn now. Man, that was that whole sequence was really bad. It was just really bad. I got tripped up on talking. I didn't sacrifice this, which actually I think wound up mattering because I ended up just tapping this instead with the 1 mana and having the mana to sacrifice something else. So it wasn't all bad, actually. Okay, they get to do it again. Cool. Except this time we're getting hit. Alright, we're going to draw a card. We also get to discard the only card in their hand, but we do take 10. Not the end of the world, though. Let's see what the card is. Probably just a... Yeah, alright. I think we're going to Tormenting Voice away a land. Okay. Can we please find an answer? Oh, wait. No, this isn't an answer, dude. Greatest power? So they just swing with this again? I misplayed that undescribably poor. I played that so bad. I really did. I played everything just really, really, really bad. None of that should have been able to happen. I shouldn't have even cast Gonti. I should have counted my mana. I thought I had the sacrifice edict up, and I didn't. Obviously, edicting their commander would have just completely turned the game around. And I also bottomed Bojuka Bog. Like, I literally did everything wrong, actually, starting from turn, 4 onwards. Everything was wrong. So I apologize. That was really bad. It was really bad. I don't know what I was thinking, actually. I don't know how I tripped up that poorly that many turns in a row. I've never played against Olivia either. Alright, moving on. Moving on. This is the thing that makes an egg, right? Choose a target permanent that player controls. I guess I can... Attacks for each player. Choose a permanent that player controls. Those players sacrifice those permanents. Okay. They did not shatter my... Wow, they did not shatter my mana rock there. Pretty happy to see that. Pretty happy to see that. I guess we just... Oh god, these are not great. I guess I'll just take that. Alright, I've never seen anyone play this before. Zeriel. Cool. Oh no, are they going to kill Gonti? Oh, nope, they're not. Wait a minute. That's that weird commander that we see from time to time. Do we trade here? I think we do. Usually ends up just... I mean, that is Gonti value, all things considered, right? We had no way to recur that nonsense anyways. Yeah, alright. So we play a land. Hey, we got Cabal Stronghold. Nice. I think I'm going to play it to bar any crazy double discard spells. We're going to... This gives us 4, so we do this, and then we can kill this, because it could be a serious problem, and then we make them discard. They did not have a land. Their hand is really bad. I'll take Harmonize. It might wind up being an issue. I don't really care about Timeless Witness. It's very slow. Opponent didn't draw a land again and just assume that's the game. Alright, well that's kind of unfortunate. But if they kept a 3-lander, explains why they made a treasure. But they used the treasure, right? What did they use the treasure on? The green... Yeah, they played it on the green creature. Ooh, I don't know. Is that what I would do? I don't think that's a... I mean, you gotta play cards, but... I don't know. Yeah, I guess. If I didn't have an answer to it... No, even if I didn't have an answer to the 2-3, they actually had nothing going on. They just played it and then would just have a 2-3 and nothing else, so... Kind of a strange hand. But sometimes you gotta keep them, right? Alright, so it's Madrotha. It is a slower matchup, so I guess I'll keep a hand like this. These are pretty nice. These 2 mana artifacts have always just been quite satisfying. And there's quite a bit of them. Alright, no Llanowar Elves. No Llanowar Elves, just a tap land. That is not... Wait, what? Okay, sure. Is this a Veil of Summer to try to respect a... No. Okay, it's a cycle of land. Sure. We're going to scry for a land, so I guess I'll put a stop here. That is also not a mana dork. Alright, this is looking pretty good for us. Not a land. Found a land, that's pretty nice. So I think I'm going to forego a discard spell for another turn just to have a treasure map in play, start scrying for more lands. Oh no, Azusa on turn 3. Although it's not as scary as it could be. Land? Do we like this? Madrotha's even? No. Alright, we got a land. That's nice. So I'd prefer to incur slow value with something like this. Manipulating the top of my deck over and over. It feels a little bit stronger than what I'm doing currently, so I'm going to do that. We have a land on top. It also shows me what's on top, right? So it helps me with my scries. We don't want to get rid of that card, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if they didn't just cast their commander. It's kind of where you always want to be when you're Madrotha. So, there you go. Azusa lets them play an additional land. We don't want this, I don't think. Alternatively, I mean, we can just look at their hand. What? Well, no. We have to kill Madrotha. Actually, you know what? We can just pay 2 here. Yeah, we'll just pay 2. Let them draw a card so I can still cast other cards and not feel as bad. Hostage Taker is quite good. Actually, their whole hand is quite good. We're going to take Hostage Taker, though. We will scry away this card. Land on top. Alright. And we pass. I'm manipulating the crap out of my draws. I feel like a Lantern control deck. Okay, fine. This gives them more mana because these are now lands. So they can cast Simulacrum, which I'm sure they will. At this point, we're really looking for a... Not that. Looking for a sweeper here. That is not a sweeper. Do I mill that away? I think I do. Let's leave this stuff. Ugh, no. Stop. Lands, go away. I don't want you anymore. Well, this means we're taking a ton of damage. We also get to draw a card and recast Madrotha, so we're not actually getting anything done by casting this, it feels. But I'm going to cast it. Do I kill the Ashio now? I can just crack the treasure tokens. I think I'm better positioned to actually... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana. No, we're just going to kill this now, actually. We're just going to do this now. So if they go for Madroltha next turn, we have a Soul Shatter on top. So I don't see a reason to put a stop here, but maybe there's a reason I don't draw this? I don't know. Okay, no, we're certainly going to draw it now. They get a land? Yeah, they get a land. Alright, so we cast this. And now we get Gonti. I might keep Feed the Swarm on top. I didn't get any treasure token draws, unfortunately, but that's fine. Oh my goodness. But the problem with taking this is it will go to our opponent's graveyard eventually. This doesn't. But it also isn't really good again. This really is not good for us, right? The tokens are decent. Now we're going to take this and harass our opponent with it. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so land Madroltha again, please. Nice. Alright, so we're going to keep this right where it is. Whoop. And we're going to swing. We're going to keep that land on top because it's the 7th land for Best of Sea God, as much as I don't want to draw a land. I think this card is better than most things I could draw out of my own deck. They cycle that instead of play it, which means they need a ramp spell to play Madroltha, or a second land drop, excuse me, to play Madroltha. They mill over Meathook Massacre. That's really funny. Alright, so we're going to run out this Best of Sea Gods. There's a chance they have counterspells. We haven't seen any, but they haven't been... they haven't had a chance to, like, cast any yet. Alright, looks like they don't have one. I will certainly swing. There's another land on top. This Mystic Forge has been quite effective so far. As, like, a weird Cosmos elixir. Okay, they're looting something away. Makes sense. Probably just a land, yep. So, land Madroltha. I guess I'll put a stop here, you never know. Alright, so they have a treasure token, so they can play a land out of their graveyard with Madroltha. What do we tap down? Is it just non-lands? Okay, so it's not really a very effective thing to do. If they play Madroltha, I am kind of incentivized to try to mind control it, but that means they get like a turn with it, and that seems quite reckless. Looks like they're going to cast it. It is certainly one of the weaker things for them to do, so we're not too scared of it. We do have an 8/8 in play. That is kind of a problem. Alright, so they're not on Madroltha, which means I am not on drawing this land for no reason. Go away, land. Ooh, you know what? It is a removal spell. It might wind up being important. And I think we're done swinging with Gonti. Oh, right. We can swing with it because they're tapped out. They're locked under. So I guess it wound up doing something somewhat effective. There's a good card on top again. This has basically been a Phyrexian Arena so far. Instead of just drawing the dead card, we get rid of it. It's kind of funny. We're probably going to mind... I mean, at this point, we can actually mind control Madroltha, so they're probably not going to cast it. And if this is the strongest thing they could do last turn, I feel like we're in a quite favorable position. Okay. They name... Doesn't really matter what they name, actually. It just doesn't matter. Sure. Take action. Yep. And then we kill the mana dork with this. And I steal Rustine. Yeah, we steal Rustine. Old Rustine. And we draw the sweeper because it's pretty good. Simulacrum. We can actually play Simulacrum off the top because it's a colorless card, which is hilarious, and I certainly will. Look for a land, put it into play. Oh man, this Mystic Forge is great. And I have nothing to do, so I'll just play this. Kind of offset the life loss. We're going to mill over, I think, Bloodchief's Thirst. Probably, right? Yeah. Eat to extinction my simulacrum. Sure. I guess. That's fine. Wow, it milled away a dead card too. That sucks. Okay, they have 2 mana after this. Not really doing much. Land in a mana dork or something. Right. Land in a mana rock. Land in this thing. Well, Azusa's not. Well, actually, yeah, they can get Azusa 2 more lands and then do something with that, right? Like this or something. This, maybe? No, it'd have to be Azusa right now into 2 more lands into just this thing. Yeah. Nope, they do not do that. Okay. Mill this way. Alright, so we put a stop here. Yeah, we put a stop. We mill this. We don't want to draw that, so we're going to not draw that. Panharmonicon, sure. Okay, so we're sweeping the board, and we're getting something that's 6 or less from our graveyard, which, of course, there isn't any, and they, of course, exiled my simulacrum. And this gets put away, so we don't really get any value. That's really unfortunate. But, take your lumps. I'm going to swing. They block. Oh, no, they don't. Okay. We sweep the board, destroy all creatures. Pay a bunch of snow for no reason, doesn't matter. Oh, can I get this? Oh, wow, I can, before it gets put to the bottom. That's actually hilarious. Do we crack this and replace this? We don't have to right now, but I don't know when I'm ever getting a chance to do all that. I think it's more important to find an answer to Madrotha, so I should probably just get rid of this. It's not even really doing anything, so yeah. We'll do that. This is the longest I've ever played against a Madrotha, that's for sure. Thoughtseize is pretty weak right now, and so is this. Oh boy. I don't think I put a stop in time. I did not. Doesn't matter, it's poop on top. Alright. Go away. Okay, we can cast it, but it can't really do anything. Oh, they're gonna untap with Madrotha, of course. No, that's game. That is game. Alright. I mean, we can... Whoops, I opened my music player. We can just scoop. That's what we can do. I think we're literally dead because they have something that just kills my 2/3 in play. So I did not mean to open that. That sucks. If we had Ugin there, we could do something. It's insane how many times they recast Madrotha. We had Bojuka Bog. We had any tutor for Bojuka Bog. Any spot removal spell. Any sweeper. We get to see 2 cards, or potentially a little bit more than that. That was just insane. Oh, look, it's Bojuka Bog. That was really unfortunate. We're going to mulligan. Discard, Scry, and a Nightmare. This is decent. Madrotha going the distance, dude. Oh my god. Once Upon a Time, huh? Okay. Gets a forest. Well, at least they don't usually run Llanowar Elves. Usually. Hopefully we get to snag a Mana Dork Sliver. Simply because we're on the play. Otherwise we really wouldn't be able to. And, yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh, look. It's not a Mana Dork Sliver. This is a very weird series of cards. Very strange. We're gonna take that card, I guess. Eerie Ultimatum. Alright, so a sweeper might not be enough. Sure. This isn't very scary when you're not, like, exploding in mana, right? I guess I will just kill it. So lets me discard after as well. It's really nice. And then we can start scrying for a land afterwards. Make sure we don't miss it. They have Lightning Bolt up. That's adorable. Do we take Lightning Bolt? Do we just take Lightning Bolt? Do we take Lightning Bolt? No, because we want Gonti to die, right? Well, I don't really want to take this. So I guess I am taking Lightning Bolt. Alright, just play Gonti then. Oh my goodness, it's a Golos. We don't have a way to get a bunch of colors, though. I'd almost want to take this. Start producing tokens and stuff. But no, Golos is fine. It's sort of a ramp spell, if I ever find another land. It's not terrible. And they, through just basic lands, have gotten all 5 colors. Wow. That's crazy. Don't really have any way to stop this here. I can't discard the first sliver, obviously. We found a mana source, but it's not what we're looking for. I don't even feel like I need to kill this immediately. I can, like, just take a turn off to do this, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. And no attack. They don't have haste instantly, which is nice. And if they do have haste, it doesn't fly at the same time, so... And they also are running some very strange cards. Well, that's a really good one. They're just willing to kill this? They're willing to trade off Gonti. I think that's fine, right? Maybe we take 3 and block a 7/7 later? That might make sense too. We could just take 3 and not think about it. Alright. We can Thoughtseize this. Haste Sliver is kind of annoying, and then I can exile the Realm Walker and force them to draw something. And no attack. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, target's permanent copy causes discard copy. Okay. They exile my... doesn't matter. Alright, looks like we're going to sauce them with Golos. Oh, never mind. They get to cycle this. Right. That is not a sliver. Not that a 3-mana one would be that scary. We'll take 3. Killing this can be questionable, right? Because they can recast it and there's what they need. So I guess I'll just run out Golos. Get myself any land so we can finally get Cabal. Do we exile their graveyard, actually, with Bojuka Bog? What's in their graveyard? Just one creature? It is a very good creature, but I think we're just going to go for the mana here. I think that's reasonable. So now we have not too much mana, but more than we did. Okay. Sure. Swing for 7, I guess? Huh. Weird. This is another opponent giving me Gonti. Very strange. I feel like this is a mistake people are doing a little more often than I expected. Oh my goodness. These are all pretty solid. This is nice. It turns off our Lilianas if they wind up mattering. Banishing Light's just a removal spell. We like Banishing Light, I think. Yeah, leave up our Baleful Mastery. I don't want to kill this because they can recast it. Just hedge on them not drawing any crazy slivers. And if they do, just hope they don't cascade anything crazy. No attacks, no nothing. Alright, so we get to scry here. I think we're looking for a little bit more specific than that, cards-wise, so... I'm not going to scry in my upkeep, though. That does make it so they need another land to cast the first sliver, because it'll sweep the board. Is that worth it, though? We could just tutor for something better. We have 4 mana after this. Meathook Massacre is actually decent. It's decent. We have 4 mana though, so we could go for something like this to start gaining life, pulling us slowly ahead. I'm actually not opposed to that. Also, just scrying in a spot where the game is back and forth seems pretty safe. So I'll just do that. And no attack. Gain 2, scry 1. No, we don't want that. Putting it to the bottom is basically like drawing 1 instead of 2, because I don't have to actually cast it, right? And it's out of the way as a card draw. So that's fine. Alright, so they got another land. Certainly was their draw for the turn. We're going to Banishing Light the first liver? If I could just make it take forever for them to incur value, we're not upset, right? I think we're just going to scry. Let's see what's on top. Go away. I'm going to swing with Gonti? No, that seems reckless. I really don't like passing, but alright, fine. Another removal spell. No, we're gonna... We don't really need that. Eventually they're gonna draw a sliver, right? It's gonna happen eventually. It is going to happen eventually. Alright, interesting attack. Probably forcing me to either trade or just... chump with Golos so they can simply recast the first sliver itself. So it's a reasonable attack. Surprised it took him this long to do it. I did it again. I didn't cast my combat trick on Gonti. Good lord. Deafening Clarion. Okay, that is not what I expected. Yeah, so that was a mistake. We should obviously have Gonti in play. We have the mana to just recast it, but it's kind of annoying that I did that. So we do this, we do this. This can be a problem, but so can this. Is this a problem? Only if they have haste, right? Otherwise, we're not super scared of this. I think we'll just take Vivian. Combat trick on Golos. I wouldn't do that anyways, but no, this is not how that one... excuse me. How that one specifically works would not work. We don't need that. Alright. 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 Okay, so are they close to this? And if so, is it doing anything crazy? Not really. It's just not doing anything crazy. Oh, they got Diffusion Sliver, I think. I caught a glimpse of it. Not sure. It was Diffusion Sliver, so everything costs 2 more to target. That is fine. Not the end of the world there. A little bit of a Ward 2, if you will. Duress. Oh, wait, Duress is perfect, right? We no longer have to worry about this one card in their hand. Seems decent enough. Yeah. So we'll just do that. They have the mana to cast this yet again, but I think I'm fine with just letting that be a thing and playing this and plussing it. Really only gets lands, but that's still drawing cards. So, I kind of want to O-ring something. And I might as well O-ring Diffusion Sliver to just get around this annoying tax that will perpetually irritate me throughout the course of this game. I will pay. And now we're at parity again. Sort of. We have a removal spell, though. Oh, what? Fine. That's fine. Kills my Gonti, kills this. Even a Cascade trigger right now isn't particularly strong. Unless it's like an insane target. Like a crazy Cascade target. Mox Amber? Sure. I wonder what that's doing in their deck, actually. I wonder what that's doing in their deck. I'm kind of glad I got this elixir. The life could have pulled us out of some nonsensical lethal that they could have had. Opponent is pausing. An attack is reasonable. In fact, an attack probably is the right thing to do. Probably. Alright, so we just do this now so I don't forget. Go here, do this. Can they recast the first sliver right now, though? I don't think they can. This does not tap for mana. Even if it did, I don't think they could. No. Yes. Is it 3, 4? Doesn't matter too much. Oh, oh my. I think we're going to take this and then just have it there forever. It's obviously not doing anything, but it would be in our opponent's deck. It's not like they get exiled forever, right? Rather just not lose because I had all my stuff get blown up. Okay, so they could recast it. Sure. They got Mana Weft. Sure. Vivian Reed's ultimate is actually not good because it makes Gonti die less. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to blow up this Mox Amber. Alright, we got a Protect land there. I could just fire this off. There's a chance our opponent just scoops when I do that, so might as well incentivize it, right? You never know. You never know. I mean, they're at their maximum life still. We have not dealt damage to them yet, which is really funny. We like our entire hand. There's, let's see, this costs 6. Okay, there's no way they can recast it, so I don't have to play around any haste nonsense. Go away. Oh, this Cosmos Elixir feels so good. Oh, yes. Feels so good, dude. Feels so good. Yeah, alright, so I kind of regret attacking just because I wanted the game to end with them at max life, having never hit them, to really press the point home that not only do I never play decks that really kill my opponent with damage, or at least combat damage, it's interesting to note that through sheer value, your opponent will eventually scoop. Alright, I think we're 6 and 4? No. 7 and 3? I think we're 7 and 3. I'm going to take the positive one because, yeah. Okay, another rough matchup. Still happy to not see the 5 mana Nicol Bolas, which, again, is very strange. But, alright, we'll keep a hand like this. This hand is, if we're ever going to win, I think, is a hand like this. It needs to allow us to do so. Did we turn to Gonti? I don't think so. Doesn't feel like it's very effective. I mean, what else is Dark Ritual really doing, though? Yeah, we'll just do it. Why not? It feels solid. I can start incurring value. Maybe I can start stealing counterspells, and then we have a back and forth. I'll take Narset. Okay. I think this is a little wrong. I don't think it's ever right to kill Gonti. I mean, it might do a fair amount of damage early, but you never know, right? Like, now I have the opportunity to potentially get it back, where I otherwise would not. Alright, let's take something spicy. What does this do? Kind of annoying. Bedevil's not particularly strong. Mind Stone is kind of annoying. I'm going to take Mind Stone just to slow them down, like, a lot. Oh, these are like standard basics. How dare you? How dare you? Not even Snowlands. Oh, we trade Mind Stones. Okay, I did not expect that, actually, in any way. Okay, so Narset feels really good, especially on a board where our opponent cannot do anything about it. Never mind, they have the card that does something about it. But it costs 5, so we can actually activate this twice before it dies. So that feels good. All of these are similar, except this one is kind of the easiest to cast, and will probably always kill their Nicol Bolas when they go to cast it, even though they now know about this. We can actually, we can just Predation. Ooh. I really want to cast that, but I think I'm going to deny our opponent's turn next turn. They haven't shown us anything, so this feels pretty good. Yeah, let's take that and Bojuka Bog 'em. That is a graveyard relevant card, and there are not too many in their deck. At least I don't think so. Here comes the Terramorphic, probably, right? Yeah, it would make sense. Karn. Alright, that's annoying. It circumvents the Nissa Plus quite substantially, actually. Hopefully they just plus it, because the minus is kind of annoying. Yeah, alright, so they do plus it. We give them probably a land. Let's give them the not cycle land. And I will certainly kill this with one of my cards. I guess the sorcery speed card. And then we pass again. Alright, one more land and we can start firing off Liliana. One more land on them and they can start... Oh, no! 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 Alright, well, one insane top deck into another. Forcing me to continuously kill your stuff has been quite good for them. Oh, so now we have to play against Nicobolus. That is not good, but I don't have a choice to... I can't obviously leave Onyx around. Now they need an untapped land. They have this, but there's a chance they could have simply just plussed into one, right? They saw 4 cards. Okay, they did not have a 7th mana. That's pretty good, but that does mean Liliana plussed into something else. Croxa. Sure. That is not an instant Croxa either. We can't instantly get it, so pretty good for us, I guess. I mean, as good as it's going to get. Alright, Liliana. Opponent has played 2 cards that are very good against Nissa, right? They have drawn cards in ways that make it so Nissa doesn't do anything. Is this a trade? No, it's not. It goes to 1. Oh, no, it is a trade because we have the Guardian Idol. Oh, that's actually massive. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright. Let's do this. We also drew the land so we can Cosmos Elixir, which is also really nice. We're also going to start drawing cards off of this. This is decent. But again, putting it to the bottom is like casting it, except I draw 1 less card because it doesn't take up a card draw for the turn. So they can Nicol Bolas and kill my 2/2. I don't really care about Croxa too much. Not too much. It is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. But it is annoying. I doubt it will end up killing us, but you never know. Suppose I'll play a land first. We can find a spot removal spell here. Even a negate or something feels good. Rampage. Both of these are... I think we just Rampage away Angrath. I mean, Rampage away Croxa. Yeah. We just Rampage away Croxa. Oh, you have a counter spell? Oh, okay. Oh, again, opponent letting us recast Gonti here. Now, it does make sense in this instance because otherwise Nicol Bolas would simply die to our stuff. We are in a predicament. Maybe we wanted to save the Rampage to deal with Nicol Bolas specifically, because it could wind up being a serious problem. But there's a chance the plussing doesn't do much. There's always a chance. Languish, okay, sure. Alright, that was an undescribably insane draw. But I guess one good draw to another. We have no cards in hand, so it's kind of free to just swing with this thing. And we draw a card. Oh, I mean, technically we were going to draw a card, so maybe we shouldn't have swung. There's always a chance we, you know, do something crazy. We get to reanimate a Professor Onyx, I think. That's probably what we're going to wind up doing. Okay. We have no cards in hand again. We get to recast Gonti again. I guess I'll leave up the... Oh, I can't. Never mind. I can play this now, but technically this is just better, so I'll just play that instead. We don't want that. Alright, so Chandra ultimates quite quickly here. Quite quickly. But we can beat Nicol Bolas again for the 3rd time. Meathook. It has to be without casting its... Yeah, so they have to do it for 0. Okay. Pretty nice. We get to swing at Chandra for 4 as well. This is coming together quite nice. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so we can get our own, but this one draws cards. Well, I guess technically they kind of both draw cards, except this plays the board a little bit. Excuse me, this plays the board a little bit better. But this takes away Croxa, right? It makes it farther away. Yeah, we're going to take this one. Phyrexian Arena. I think we need cards immediately. We could key for something, but we can't cast it right away, probably. I think we need cards immediately here. So I'm going to do this. Alright, not the best draws. Fire this up and attack Chandra. Because we're not killing Nicol Bolas anytime soon here. And we play out this. Black. I guess I can play this as well. Yeah. And then I have Malice to keep my Gonti alive. If for some reason they decide to try to kill it, I don't think they will. Oh shoot, what did I just put on the bottom? Okay, never mind. I was going to say I should have manipulated the top of my deck so their Nicol Bolas doesn't have any good targets. And they just hit 6-minute. Chandra just plussed into the other Chandra. Well, that's just bad. I don't know what we can do now. That's insane. That's insane. They kill the Professor Onyx. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty easy plus. Pretty easy plus there. I don't have any way to block this, but Narset's not really doing anything. Opponent has completely and utterly circumvented the ability to deny them drawing extra cards a turn. I can't use this for any reason. And yeah, we've just untap. Take our lumps here. This is bad. Alright, well. Alright, so we discard this. We kill 4-mana Chandra. I guess, right? Yeah, I have to, pretty much. I mean, I have to kill things as it comes, barring any removal spell here. But, without Gonti dying, we're not really getting anywhere, right? Like, we're just dirtling. Well, we draw a card, I guess, off of Elixir, right? No, it has to be greater than your life total. I got you. So, no, we don't. Okie dokie. I could have cast that card in response, but I don't... excuse me, I don't feel like it's... Oh, come on! God! They drew every single Planeswalker that's 6 or more. Oh my god. There's the other one. There's another 6-mana Planeswalker. Jeez. Good lord. Is there any left, actually? Trying to think. There's one more Liliana that they could cast above 6. And again, opponent successfully not drawing cards. So Narset has never done anything against a Grixis control deck. Well, this is extremely late. I can kill nothing of consequence. I can kill this and then poke this. But then they have this. I mean, this game is over, right? This game just... Yeah, this is over. Opponent literally just circumvented Nissa, or Narset, since the start of the game, and still found a way to amass card advantage. We probably could have beaten Nicol Bolas on its own, but if you're playing every single Planeswalker that costs 6 or more in the same deck, that also has them all in the top half of your library, or top third, actually. There's not really much anyone can do about that. Did we even see a sweeper? I don't even think we saw a board wipe. I don't know what my opponent's deck is good against, but, I mean, I'd love to play a deck like that. I guess I'll keep it on my radar. I just don't see it ever being good. Just way too slow for most things, right? Okay, so do we like this hand? No, I don't think we do. This hand's a little bit better. against Kazuma? Kazmina? Okay. Kazmina. Oh, rip. I was kind of curious how that goes. I mean, the fact that they're blue-green is just good enough to lose on its own, right? Like, I'm not good against blue-green decks. It's the strongest thing you can do, but this is certainly a Super Friends card, right? Certainly. But it's only blue-green. There's not a lot of crazy blue-green things to do with Super Friends. Okay, I've never seen that card in my life. That's cool. Well, in the game. I saw it when it got spoiled, whenever that set was. I remember it was one of the only cards I saw when that set was spoiled. Because I just assumed every single Planeswalker that has like a passive static ability was insane, but that one was surprisingly not. Also, it's like the same as Oko mana. Like, I looked at the art and I'm like, oh no, it's Oko with a passive. But then it was one of the worst Planeswalkers ever. Okay, Azusa. Feeling good about this matchup. I don't know how important a board wipe is, but I'm going to take it slow here. Gonna take it slow. They did not have a 1 minute orc, so this isn't coming in Speedy Gonzalez here. We're just trying to play against, or not play against, the play off the top of your deck cards, which are the problem. Okay. It's like Cabal, sort of, where you play Azusa once, it does something decent, and then it never does anything again. Usually, right? Usually. It's not always the case. Soul Shatter's making me feel pretty comfortable, though. Alright, so... Oh, no, they have 2 mana, though! No... Oh, wait, no, this circumvents Indestructible. Never mind. Catastrophe avoided. Yeah, we're gonna not... We're not gonna let them untap. This also plays around, Veil of Summer. And they certainly have a card that's castable here. So it could be Veil of Summer. Okay, well, we can continuously beat up on these giant creatures. Well, unless they have Veil of Summer. Then I guess we can't. Alright, never mind, now we can. I'm going to Hero's Downfall, because if they do have Veil of Summer, I would prefer to have this one resolve. So I can then in turn... Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you have it? So I can then in turn have Murderous Rider not just get sent to the graveyard. Veil of Summer. Yep. Alright, so we've beaten 2 giant minions. There's another one. That one's a little annoying, but as long as they're just coming at me one at a time, I'm not scared, right? This doesn't mean we have to take a turn off, but that's fine. So do I tap my remaining mana to run this out? I might? Oh, right. No, never mind. Vorniclix is gone, so these do untap. Alright, well, eventually they'll run out of things to do. Never mind. Never mind. They won't run out of anything to do. They found a way to draw cards. Alright. Sure. Rolls a 19. Draws 2. Oh boy. Well, we almost stabilized. And now we're not going to stabilize. In any way. This plays lands off the top, right? No, it doesn't. We drew a land so we can cast something. I don't feel like anything matters, though. Alright. Opponent has over 24 mana next turn or something? Oh. My opponent was going to draw pretty bad. And now they're not going to. Okay, I guess I hit... what a way to lose. What a way to lose. What is the bottom one of this? Comes land, creature, haste, power. Okay. It's really just this deck, actually. If it wasn't for the deck of many wonders, many things, we wouldn't be like... My stomach is growling, dude. I'm really getting hungry. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Okie dokie. Well, Eldest Reborn is not going to do anything, that's for sure. We can technically get out of this with a sweeper. Opponent is giving us the option to... let's not kill that one. Gives us the option to recast Gonti. But at this point, we're almost just dead. But I don't think anything matters anyways, because I can't answer deck of many things. If it wasn't for this, we win, pretty much. Stabilize. If we could stabilize, we win. It's just the fact that they're drawing one card to turn is a problem. Yikes, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna drop the treasure chest. I'm not feeling it. Every time, well, the one time I cast it, I don't even think I activated it. And unlike the deck, this actually gets sacrificed. It does not recur over and over like the deck. So I'm a bit off of this card. Might just be better as a mana rock or something. We can do Eye of Vecna. I like these 2 mana plays. It also is another card for Mystic Forge to play off the top. Another thing for Ugin to discount if that for some reason is a thing. Could run another card draw spell. Or just another mana rock. Almost want another sweeper. We're not running all of them. Might just be running all the best ones, though. We are only black, right? I don't know. I don't think I want another spot removal spell. It would have to be a sweeper. Inscription isn't bad, though Mind Rotting is never that great. I do like the new Sauron. I do like the new one. It is like a Dark Confidant that also is sometimes a removal spell. That sometimes smashes your opponent for 13, which is not super common, but you know, you can do that. Obliterator in that game would have been very good. Actually, let's think about it. How many games have we played where Obliterator would have been solid? Anything mono green, it's great, right? The Vorniclixes and stuff can't swing. Actually, it just stonewalls them for quite a while. But a sweeper would kind of do something similar. Massacre Worm? How many things... I'm trying to think. How many things would have genuinely died to Massacre Worm's ability that we've played against so far? The life loss isn't super relevant because we're not really killing them with damage. Like, if I deal 12 damage to them with a Massacre Worm, they can totally just come back from that. So the life loss isn't super relevant. We're not closing the game out that fast. And I don't see the -2/-2 being that great. It is a target for some of my wonky reanimate spells and stuff, because we don't have too many creatures, but usually you just want Gonti to be the creature. Yeah, I just don't see Massacre Worm killing that many things. And it is another 6-mana card, and I don't think I want another one of those. And if I do, it might just be Bolas' Citadel. Something that just drowns them in value. I don't think I've ever played this since I got the new art, or the special one, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I own one of these on paper, and I still don't run it. I just don't think it's that great. It's a very cool card. I love the card. I just, like... Against us, right, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything against Nicol Bolas. It doesn't do anything against certain Azusa lists. And those are mono green, which are creature heavy because the creatures they play are too big. And at that point, you've just played a 6-mana 6/5. I actually like the Black Gear Hulk more than I like this thing, because me gaining life feels a little bit better than our opponent losing, like, 6 or 8 or something. I like Intervention, maybe. If we're going to do a big mana play, just some sort of weird mana sink. There's also Gravewaker. I ran this like once, and my opponent couldn't answer it, so I just soloed them, but I don't know how consistent that is. Shadow's Verdict does something similar to Massacre Worm, right? Except it probably kills a little bit more than the worm would, while also exiling the cards. And it costs 1 less mana, right? So it's a little bit more relevant. but I don't think I want it. I like this card, but excuse me, but so I like this. It's a 4-mana sort of Phyrexian Arena, kind of Dark Confidant plus. The minus is solid. The ultimate could gain us some relevant life. I do like this card. I've never played it in Commander. I only played it in Alchemy, actually. The only time. It was the Alchemy event, and I just have a Sorin, so I played it. And it felt good. It feels good. Yeah, I think we're going to try Sorin here. We're going to try Sorin. Yeah, I don't know. Massacre Worm is... we're going to pass on that one, for now, at least. I don't think I've ever played Massacre Worm in Historic Brawl, ever. In fact, every time in my head, every time I've played against a Massacre Worm, it didn't really do anything. But that's because I don't play creature-heavy decks, so Massacre Worm usually doesn't do anything. And Field of the Dead is not in the format anymore, so you can't just one-shot your opponent out of nowhere. There's no way for your opponent to amass 600... you know, a bajillion 2/2s for you to just be like, Massacre Worm, and then they just die. So I wonder how long we're supposed to hold on to Bojuka Bog in this matchup, because obviously last time we played against Madroltha, it would have been very good. Alright, looks like we're just going to draw a card here, unless we draw something that we can cast that's castable. Or cast that is good to cast. We sort of did. It is a land, but we have a land here. Now we're just going to do this here. All of these are kind of annoying. I'll take the Spring Bloom because it makes them sacrifice a... Oh, no, they already have a way to lose a land. Yeah, I guess it really didn't matter what I take. I'm not going to take Eldest Reborn, though, certainly. Favorite use of Massacre Worm is polymorphing into 2. Oh, yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah, you could clone it in the same turn cycle and have, like, 20 and feel really good about it. That's true. Okay, sure. So Eldest Reborn is actually unfortunate now. It does take out Liliana, right? Or potentially takes out Liliana. Get a land. I think we're gonna play Liliana next turn still. I think. I don't have a way to deal with Madroltha. But it's so bad. Like Liliana minus and then they just Eldest Reborn. I should have just discarded the Eldest Reborn. Oh wow, they're just playing it. I did not expect this. I don't understand the play. I don't understand. I am kind of confused. Okay, so we're doing this. And then we discard Swamp. Very strange to me. Very strange. They don't even have anything crazy in their graveyard, so we're going to get rid of this Swamp. I can see an argument for getting rid of, like, Thoughtseize if they dump their hand, or we expect them to dump their hand, but I don't expect them to dump their hand. Alright, a little bit less likely they have something good in hand for the Thoughtseize, though, that's for sure. We're certainly going to block. I feel like this is a free block here. So we Liliana minus, and then we Bojuka Bog. I guess we lead with this. Hey, we hit something, and it was maybe decent. So we do this, and then we Bojuka Bog away their graveyard, so we don't lose to it, because otherwise we probably would. And we run out Gonti to play around, I don't know, Questing Beast. Oh no, we actually can't block Questing Beast. This will never flip. And I guess this is technically a green divination, so it's a little bit better than the Signet, so I'll just take this. Opponent gets our Simulacrum. That's fine. They can't recur this over and over, but... Oh, that's probably why they played this, because they can steal it, right? That's sort of reasonable, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can recast this, and I can't minus Liliana. But they don't have any... Oh. Alright, sure. Little Liliana off. Except theirs is at a higher loyalty, so... Not good. Alright, we're gonna just thin our deck. Then we're gonna draw. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so we plus. I don't want to have them get Simulacrum immediately. Check for traps has no use. Yeah, Panharmonicon, you're right. That's another reason to play Massacre Worm. That is very true. It guarantees a double. It's -4, -4. No, that's true. Okay, so they get a land back. Yeah, Skewed Swarm, if your opponent has that going wild and you haven't died yet. Man, my voice is cracking. Ugh. I'm going through puberty again, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, Massacre Worm certainly is not entirely useless. I mean, against Liliana, I mean, they draw a bunch of cards, so it's not great, right? They don't have anything in their graveyard we're super scared of. Eldest Reborn is not reanimating really anything. The problem is I have no answer to this Liliana, though. Alright, we found an answer, but then Madrotha can get it right back. So that's not great. We have 6 mana after we play this, so let's see what we can do to maybe deal with everything. I don't think I can. I can Ugin to kill their Madrotha, and then potentially Ugin this later. Oh no, that doesn't work. Can Ugin to reset Liliana, so it doesn't... No, that doesn't work either. Oh wait, we can exile it. We can just exile with this. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. So what do we... Is there a better exile card in our deck? Vraska's Contempt, technically? It gains us some life. Yeah, we have to exile this Liliana. Obviously, the ultimate just kills us, so... Gain 2 life. We don't really care about Eldest Reborn when we're making zombies. That can just get pitched to it. Let's see what they drew. They drew that, which is now gone. Cool. We don't really have an attack, but now they're just our opponent. They can play a land again, and then this is free to cast, so they probably just will. Man, going back and forth against Madrotha that's been sitting in play is very crazy. Oh. Okay. That's not good. What do they hit? Swordtooth in Reclamation Sage. Not great. We're not upset about those cards. I guess they should Rec Sage now to take me off an extra card from the Sunset Pyramid. Wow, look at that. Oh no. No. Oh, dude, I was about to boast how somebody found this to be more threatening than like a staple. But unfortunately our opponent did not kill it. Even though I think it's actually right to kill this. Actually, it makes way more sense to kill this. I don't know why they didn't. Alright, well, we got nothing out of it. What's our opponent going to get here? Swordtooth, Eldest Reborn. So far, nothing too crazy. We can keep the board kind of at parity if we just keep doing this. So I'm going to keep doing this. And pass. As long as we have zombies, they don't really want us to draw cards, and there's nothing crazy in their graveyard. Sure. Sure. So they can do it again with the Fabled Passage? Oh no, they can't. It's only one permanent type. One permanent per type, so they can't pull 2 lands out. Alright. I can even see an argument for not playing this Eldest Reborn, as me sacrificing zombies to draw cards is not really what you want me to be able to do. Another land? Ooh, jeez. Alright. We're crystal balling, dude. We're crystal balling. Ooh. You're gonna let me trade with... Really? Okay. 1, 2... Okay, so Liliana's dying no matter what. I guess I'll just do this. No, we'll trade zombies. Yeah, Liliana's dying no matter what I do. I think that means I do not draw cards, unfortunately. I'm not sure how the combat works. Let's find out. Do I draw cards here? Do they see? Does it see them die? I don't think it does. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it does. All right, that's actually insane. I've never had that come up before. Wow, that was really bad. That was really bad. Oh, come on. Come on. Stop, please. Okay, well, I mean, it would be good, except it is not, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, we're just in a spot where I think we're going to get swarmed by Madrotha value, and there's just nothing I can do, right? Well, alright, I guess I'll take that. It's not the worst thing I can do, right? Hand is so bad. Okay, alright, so we discard a land because we have a lot of those. This is still our Simulacrum, by the way. But now that Liliana's dead, their Eldest Reborn gets value that we can't stop. Which is not good. I'm curious if they swing. I feel like it's free to swing, right? Whether I have a way to recur Gonti or not. I'm losing my voice, dude. I'm talking too much. I think I would attack. There's really no reason not to. I'll kill something that when it comes back we're not upset. So we'll do this. I can't really kill this because when it comes back they get that ability and then the graveyards get filled back up. No! I said yes to the first one. It's not coming back into play. That's my bad. That's my bad. I've messed that up way too many times. I drew another land. Okay. So we have 12 mana. We can run these out. I don't know what it's doing. We minus this. They get this back. Okay. Make some wolves, I guess. This deck is super fun. I really do like it. I will admit. But I'm losing my voice. It's been over 2 hours. I'm going to go to a deck recap stage of the video. So I can breathe. Madrotha is not a good matchup, that's for sure. When you're trying to go long, you're not really doing a good job at going insanely long, right? Madrotha just outvalues you, unless you can keep the graveyard locked down, which is possible. We had Bojuka Bog, and it stopped some of the early nonsense, but it didn't stop enough. The mana count, the land count felt fine. The ways to draw additional cards also felt fine. Dark Ritual was good. The rest was a little bit weak. But I guess you'd rather have it than not. I don't know. I'm not super big on any discard spells, really. Just not. I feel like you can answer your opponent's stuff with more reactively and not just rely on them like top decking out of it. Like if discarding is your only answer to something, you're feels bad when you can't, right? And just late game top decking a Thoughtseize turn 12 or something is never great. The removal felt good. The sweepers felt good. Sweeping the board against Madrotha is not an effective way to win the game, so I don't feel bad that I hadn't really drawn any. In fact, there's times where you don't even really want to play it, right? Eldest Reborn sitting there makes you not want to play a sweeper. And they can spam this, so... I like the colorless package. There was that one game where Mystic Forge was just super, super dirty. So I did like that. You know what? This might just be better as Eye of Vecna. It does something somewhat similar. The 1 through 9 isn't even great. Come to think of it, every time my opponents played this, and every time they've rolled, they've hit the draw 2. Which is funny. I guess it's better than the 20, but... I think I'm going to drop it. Eye of Vecna might just be a little bit better. It's similar enough. It comes in way early. The 2 mana colorless cards are certainly like my favorite thing in this format, so Having another to play with seems decent enough, right? I'm not going to run the Ornithopter, though. I think we have too many sweepers. And we don't capitalize too much on super fast mana. Not too much. But there would be an argument for running this. Sunset Pyramid. Actually, yeah, it drew us 3 cards that last game, didn't it? Yeah, it did. It drew us 3 cards. We drew, I think, 7 lands in a row, something like that. Scryed 2 more lands to the bottom. Just got really unlucky. What's it called? Cling to Dust is reasonable, especially if you're bumping into a bunch of... We played a bunch of mono black opponents and, like, Madrotha, so... If you are trapped in some weird tier list that Wizards deems you in, then running some main deck Graveyard Hate is certainly reasonable. Outside of just Bojuka Bog, right? We have Elspeth's Nightmares as well to exile the graveyard. But it also gives us play with our graveyard, because otherwise we don't really interact with it. So it is certainly a thing you could think about outside of, I guess, our one Eldest Reborn. Exiling their own graveyard to an Unleash card is nice. Village Rites in Costly Plunder and... What's the other one? Deadly Dispute. I mean, yeah, sacrificing our own Gonti is nice. But there's times where I just don't have the mana to do that. And unless I have one of these combat tricks to get it right back into play, it doesn't even really feel that good to do it. So I don't know. Maybe going down 1 is fine. I think Village Rites is a little bit better than Plunder. We have some artifacts that we're not too upset losing, but I think Village Rites is going to be castable enough that just making this one in the deck is better. I think I want the Unleash card that I named and have already forgotten. Wait, where is it? What happened? What? Oh, it's Escape, not Unleash. Excuse me. I see chains every time the effect happens, and I'm like, oh, it's Unleash, because chains. You get it? Panharmonicon felt good, but I didn't get it too many times. We're not really capitalizing heavily on this card, right? It does... Like, it's good against... I don't even know. I see it in a lot of Gonti lists, but I don't know. I'd almost rather be something else. Removal spell. Draw spell. Doubling up on Gonti is good, but it's not, like, crazy. Oh, with that being said, maybe every Battlecry commander just wants this. There's not a ton of Battlecry commanders, but you know, there's some out there. Usually when you get a Battlecry on your commander, you want it to be a really good Battlecry, otherwise your commander just sitting there doing nothing after the fact is not great. Yeah, no, I like it as is. It felt good. The games we won felt good. The games we lost felt kind of impossible or just bad matchups, which you're not really going to hedge against too well. Trying to, you know, spearhead into beating certain decks is not really a good idea usually. And the games that were very back and forth and lasted a long time, I felt very comfortable with everything I was doing. And I felt like I had inevitability, right? Aside from, I guess, graveyard recursion from Madrotha. So yeah, I like it a lot. I'm going to call it there. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you would and would not play. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.